It's crazy. They don't do nothing.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. This is Gary Thompson calling. I just sent an email a few minutes ago. It's from James Thompson at UT. The title of it is a COVID-19 ventilator shortage.
Yeah, I can see that. It's up there. I'm still on emails from Sunday, so I haven't been able to get into today's yet. But what can I do for you, Mr. Thompson?
Well, what it's about is they've taught millions of people to deny rescue breathing. I've talked to France in person, and when she made a deputation at City Hall, I've talked to her at the legislature. And so I've got, what's his name, Pierre. He's the executive director. Yeah. So when you deny rescue breathing, brain damage, they're needlessly taking up ventilators in ICU. I got some recorded conversations with the opposition.
So I'm not aware personally how many ventilators there are. I have heard people say that there's not enough in the media.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But it just makes common sense. And you shouldn't be, it's costing the taxpayer a fortune. They shouldn't be on ventilators in the first place.
I try not to act as a doctor, even though I see a lot of emails about health stuff.
Yeah, well, no, a 5-year-old child knows this is wrong, that it causes brain damage. You have to breathe once every 5 seconds. The most important food group is air. You have to breathe in 15,000 liters of it a day or you die. Simple. Oxygen deprivation, any child knows that'll cause brain damage. Yeah. Anyway, I talked to friends in person. There was at the legislature, Consadova, second reading of Bill 105. My brother-in-law was there, Doris Grinspun, CEO of the RN, and a gentleman that said he had to go to the hospital and pull his brother off a ventilator because of an overdose. He didn't get air. Yeah, I know. Well, I'm showing up to scenes all the time. Parents giving their children chest compressions. They're non-drug overdoses because it's all through the news. Wherever you look in the news, it's chest compressions. And the majority of people taken to hospital are respiratory emergencies. Cardiac arrest is a very rare event. The mayor, John Tory, and the medical officer of health had a press conference in January 2017 and said, stop doing that. Still doing it. It's nonsense. It could happen to you. An injury or illness that puts you comatose. People are eagerly going to start pounding on your beating heart instead of giving you air. The signs of drug overdose are the same as any other respiratory emergency. Blue from lack of oxygen. Unconscious, lack of oxygen. Shallow breathing, not breathing very well. Even when you take the training, they tell you when you take the training, they say the person's turning blue from lack of oxygen. They're not breathing very well. Now start giving them chest compressions. I was at Ryerson, February the 6th. They trained 100 people to give chest compressions. When this PowerPoint was up, before the PowerPoint started, they said, Gary's right, it's rescue breathing. And then they gave a PowerPoint to tell them to give chest compressions. Utter nonsense. That's your tax dollars going around teaching people the worst possible thing. You know that, eh? The executive director at Health Canada, Heidi Jackson, got canned last year in January for blowing the whistle because Health Canada removed rescue breathing. They used to say start with rescue breathing, of course. Gosh. I don't know why you're not concerned. I talked to friends in person. Her staff was there at City Hall when she made a deputation about the vaping.
That was me.
That was you, yeah. We talked. You said you've looked at some of my videos.
Yes, I did. It wasn't, and I saw the videos of some of your presentations.
Yeah. I know, it's nonsense. What are they doing this for? It's a monster, and it's making all the nurses and EMS and the fire department and the police, it's causing post-traumatic stress disorder because they're showing up to calls all the time. People maltreated needlessly. Anyway. So I CC'd Andrea Horvath and Dolly.
Everybody's pretty busy on the, it's all been about the COVID.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of fear going around about it too, but it can spread and stuff, so you got to be cautious. But it's called preventative medicine, and this is the worst thing. This isn't preventative medicine. It's increasing mental health issues, drug use and abuse, dysfunctional society. There was a coroner's inquest that ended December 20th, 2018. Brad Chapman. Jury's verdict was to not deny rescue breeding to anyone. A man named Sean Court was on the stand. He's the director of policy for the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care, being questioned by the lawyers. His response was, I don't know. I want my lawyers to go ask Eric Hoskins. The jury goes, that man's guilty. Of course. Deny rescue breeding from someone. Anyway, all the police officers love me because they know I'm trying to save cops' lives too. Toronto Public Health used to call the cops on me all the time. We stopped doing that. And you've got all these safer consumption sites now in the province. It's all air.
What's there?
The air. They give them rescue breathing, oxygen. Or rescue breathing is the same thing. You breathe out 16% oxygen is enough to keep anyone alive. Anyway, just get back to me and think for a while. What can you do, Doug Ford. I tried to save his brother Rob Ford's life back in 2013. There was a rumor of him smoking crack. So I went to public health and I says, well, I guess this live human study can't end until somebody kills the mayor if he smokes too much, drinks too much, has a diabetic coma, has a stroke, or chokes on the extra gravy. The doctors at public health started laughing their fool heads off. Yeah, Gary, kill the mayor. That's a good one. Let's kill the mayor. Yeah, I know. Sick puppies. These are doctors. I grabbed a friend of mine, EMS. I says, follow me. We're going over to see Rob. So I went over and talked to Rob, told him about it. Rob's response was, Toronto Public Health is not my jurisdiction. I shook my head and I says, do I got to go to Montreal or Windsor to save your life? Doug knows all about it. They all know about it down at City Hall. Giorgio Mammaliti, of all people, and got himself kicked out of City Hall. They called security on him because he had David McEwen, the past medical officer of health, questioned him, how come he's not in jail? Yeah, call security, get Mr. Mammaliti. They've called security on me before down at City Hall for making deputations, but the security doesn't come and get me. Because they all have first aid and know what they're doing down there is wrong. Anyway, man, it's nice talking to you.
You too, sir.
Your name was? This is the email I sent to the buggers. Yes, sir. I was in the New York Times. Got the story there with the references after the story. All up there, hard info, and they know about it. That could happen to them, eh? Deny rescue breathing from a respiratory patient. You die every second you're under oxygenated. You're dying. Your blood chemistry is becoming more and more toxic, killing every cell, tissue, and organ, right down to a cellular level.